Next up here on the Fantasy Flex is a segment we call Elite Entries, where Sean and I dive into the PrizePicks app and compare our player projections to the props to build some entries. We'll do 2 each for week 11. Sean, what's your first PrizePick Elite entry best bet for week number 11?
So I have a nice little Bengals stack. So I'm breaking out the Bengals hat here. But the first leg of this Bengals stack is Joe Burrow to go over 255.5 passing yards against the Raiders this week. He's gotten over this number 7 of 9 games this season. And one of those games that he went under, he didn't have T. Higgins. So I love his floor in this matchup. It should be a shootout. The Raiders ranked 22nd in DVOA against the pass. I'm projecting this for 25 yards over this. I'm projecting him at 280. So love the over here.
For my first PrizePicks Elite entry, best bet for week number 11, I'm going with Justin Fields, over 30.5 rushing yards. He's been over this in each of the past 4 games. He scrambled at least 5 times in each of the past 4 games after barely scrambling over the first 4. So I think that is going to make the difference in him being able to get over this number. I have this, I hear above 40. Sean, where are you going for your second prize pick for week 11?
So I'm going with Tyler Boyd over 32.5 receiving yards. Part of this is due to me projecting Joe Burrow for 25 more yards than the market. But also, this has to do with Jamar Chase. He tends to be a little bit less productive against zone coverage. The Raiders, run zone at the 6th highest rate. So I think it could open the door for Boyd to have a big game. And either way, 32.5 yards is not a high bar for him to clear. And he's typically, a high floor pass catcher where we can bank on 5 to 7 targets for him pretty much every game. So while he's probably the forgotten guy in this like dynamic trio of receivers, he still has one of the higher floors as a number 3 receiver, and I'm projecting him closer to 43.5. So I think this prop is about 10 yards too low.
Yeah, you're getting Tyler Boyd, a number 3 receiver, at 32.5 receiving yards. So I got to go Michael Carter, a running back, under 31.5 receiving yards against the Dolphins. You got Joe Flacco starting. His average depth of target is 5 yards higher than Mike White's. It's about 3.5 yards higher than Josh Johnson. It's a couple yards higher than Zach Wilson. So he does not like to check it down. Miami also blitzes at the 2nd highest rate in the league, which gives you man coverage down the field and forces the running back to stay in for a blitz pickup. So I think this number is a little bit too high here. I have this in the low 20s. Carter's been under this again in 5 out of 9. That's going to wrap it up for our prize pick Elite entry segment for week 11. To recap, Sean's going with Joe Burrow over 255.5 passing yards and Tyler Boyd over 32.5 receiving yards. I'm going Justin Fields over 30.5 rushing yards and a Michael Carter under 31.5 receiving yards.